It's talking about sobriety. And it's saying that specifically, I couldn't tell you exactly what it means, but generally it's talking about sobriety. Duwa is saying, it's talking about yotie. It's difficult, it's hard to live that life. And it's just saying that we need sobriety in our communities. Earl passed. He was I think Earl was Womb Papa. He might have been Yank Tony from Standing Rock. And he has a group, well, they still are called Iktev Chaska, the people, the common man, the ordinary people. And it was, 1991. Oh, that was a long time ago, man. So my brother was at Yapaha. He was MC at Dartmouth Powwow. I was at the University of Massachusetts. We went up north, had a great time, and I ended up singing with the people. I met Cedric Goodhouse Jr., Jody Luger. Who saw Dancing with Wolves? Remember the scene where they're hunting the buffalo? Remember? Well, freaking Jody Luger played the stuntman for Graham Greene's character. Remember Graham Greene? He had the little hairdo in the front with the long hair in the back, and he was like the spiritual man. But when they're hunting, he had the white horse. The guy riding on the horse, that's Jody Luger. He sang with us. He's from Standing Rock. Ken Billingsley, and a lot of these guys were just starting to sing. And I didn't know Earl from a hole in the wall. I thought he was a Navajo. He came walking up, he had an ASU hat on, his hair was really, really short, and I just knew he was a Navajo guy, right? ASU hat. And he says to me, what did he say to me? I had to watch there. I said, well, man. So we started talking, BSing around, and it turned out my older brother Johnny sang with them at Sundance and at Powwow. So he said, hey, come sing with us. I said, all right, man. So we had a good time. But he taught me that sobriety song. And I felt it was fitting for the men sitting around this gahubi, the drum. It's not easy, man. It's not easy. I'm not saying this to toot my horn, but I've been sober 40 years. I don't say that to, rub it in anyone's face or whatever. But what I do know, people know Dr. Jekyll. You don't know Mr. Hyde. You know the difference, right? My sons know Mr. Hyde. So I struggle with food addiction. I struggle with anger. I think we all deal with that at times. I had a good talk with Arnold Alexis. He's from Alexis First Nation. Arnold is a very well-known singer, round dance and powwow. He said he received the chanupa, pahuat, pipe. 1983. He fasted from a pipe. He didn't get specific, but he said, they asked me. And he wasn't like, he was talking about two-legged when Josh asked. They asked him, will you ever get mad? And he had to sit there and think. Because if you get mad, you can't hold this pipe. You can't hold the pipe. If you're going to be mad. And I really thought about what he said, because recently I was up at Mount O'Shane and Crawler's Sundance. And he said, when he's working with people in the Sundance, you can't cry. You can't share that emotion. And I'm sitting there thinking, as tough, as difficult as things are, you can't cry. He said, that's a rule, I can't cry. So of all times, I'm watching Star Wars. About maybe a week or two later, and it hits me. Yoda said to Anakin Skywalker when he was young, your sadness is going to open up a way to so that the dark side and manipulate you. So I thought, so I saw Uncle Shane at a powwow later on that month. I said, Uncle, is it like what Yoda said? He's looking at me like, gotcha, what? And he said, what are you talking about? So I said, you can't cry. And I told him what Yoda said in the movie. He said, yes, because you open yourself up to negativity. And then Arnold said, that's why you can't get angry, because I don't open yourself up You know, so I thought to myself, how my father-in-law has to check you out for you have a ceremony. He says, 4 days. I got here 19 years ago. And remember, my brothers at home would say the same thing. Don't get mad. Walk with this prayer for 4 days. Don't get mad. And I used to think, I can do that. 2 days later, you know, I blew it. 20 minutes later, I blew it. So my father-in-law said, walk with that. 4 days. All they want you to do is 4 days. Don't get mad. But imagine from 1983 to present. So, you know, the spiritual people, man, I revere that. And I had some notion when I was about, I don't know, my early 20s, that I was going to be destined to be some heavy hitter, you know. And then I realized right away, hell no. It took me to sweat, find my mind again. They said, oh, you want to ride this way? You want to do this? Okay, let's go. And they took me for a ride. I had a foot here and I had a foot there. It was fun. So when you see people in the streets and they're talking themselves, and that person's crazy. They just might have a foot here and a foot there. Right? Not crazy. You know, so if anything, though, I'm going down that path, and I'm saying this because each and every one of you sitting here, I know it's a struggle. It's not easy, man. You know, I go to the grocery store, man. I got a wife and children. I'm spending about $50 more a week just to put food on the table for my family. And I got a son in university. So it's like, you know, it's not easy. But if anything, it'll help you. I'm not kidding. It'll help you. I said it. I kind of, my wife says, you pour on too much information, you lose people. This is an altar, like I said. People are like, an altar? What do you think, you're all Wakan or something? No, this drum is an altar. Frank Brown made that clear. When you sing on this drum, things will come to this drum. They'll come to this drum as long as this and this is in the right place. But then also, if this and this is in the wrong place, it's going to attract that. For there to be good, they're damn sure going to be bad. So, you know, I'm not saying, you know, walk around like the Cheshire Cat or the Village Idiot all day, you know. But just try to find balance in your life. By Lethal Gun, Jace Pratt from Sioux Valley. Try to find balance in your life. And that's because with good, there's going to be bad. You know, sometimes I think, oh, it's going so good. There you go. But, and then Grandpa Fool's Pro talked about a hollow bone. The hollow bone, they talked about that. There was a gentleman here last time I was here. They talked about that. You know? And then Crowfoot talked about that. You know? Red Crow talked about that. Those guys were like ready for prime time, man. Ojinja Fiha, Bear's Paw, or even, you know, Pound Maker, Big Bear, you know. Those guys were like, you know, ready for prime time, you know. So I even asked my grandfather, he fought in World War II. I said, Pop, could we have run with you? And he just said, boy, you're the McDonald's generation.